Hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of 2-Minute Emergency. I am Dr. Leslie, board certified emergency physician, best-selling author, international speaker, and professional photographer. And I am back again today on this beautiful day to teach you a little bit more about how to stay safe and out of the emergency department. My topic today is eye emergencies. One thing that I notice a lot of people are afraid of, among any other part of the body, people fear the eye. Now, we only get one pair of eyes. They have to last us a whole lifetime. So you want to do your best to take care of them. So what happens when you have an eye injury? Well, first of all, when is it an emergency? When is it not an emergency? Let's talk about that a little bit. So anytime you get something foreign in your eye, be it an object or a chemical, or sometimes even a vapor, you can have an eye injury. We think about things like when someone punches you in the eye. Quite obvious, but there's other things that can be very small, but can still cause damage. Some of the things to look for is pain in the eye. Is there pain? Is it red? Is it watering excessively? Those are some signs that there's definitely something going on with your eye. Now, people talk about pink eye. Pink eye is a viral infection of your eye. That's not what I'm talking about here today as far as injury. So some of the other common ways of having an injury is a foreign object getting into your eye. So if you work with wood, you do metal work, anything outdoors where you can have a lot of dust or debris getting into your eyes, you've got to be very careful. So some other signs that you see, beside the pain, the watering, and the redness, when you have any loss or decrease in your vision, when you have double vision, when you notice that one eye is moving differently from the other, when you notice one eye seems to be bulging, those are all emergencies that you need to seek medical attention right away. Let's give an example there. So you were out working in your workshop and you were doing some sanding and something got in your eye. Now, when it's something small, you assume that something you get out of your eye pretty easily. So the first step is for you to go under cold water or cool water and just rinse your eye out well. You want to do that for 15 minutes. That generally takes care of those little small particles that get in your eye. Now, say something is larger in your eye. You can try rinsing to start off with, but you're not sure, you didn't get it out with that initial rinse. That's when you need to seek some medical attention. You want to do your best to protect that eye. So if you're in the presence of someone else, and this is something major you think that's in your eye, as I said, if you're with someone else, you want to cover both eyes. Why would you cover both eyes completely? Well, our eyes like to move as a pair. So if I look to my right, both eyes are going to move at the same time. If I cover just one eye and I'm looking around with the other, the eye that's covered is still going to want to move. So you want to limit your movement as much as you can. Now, in those circumstances, as I said, if you're with someone else, if you're having difficulty with your vision, you need to call 911 and get to the hospital as soon as you can. When you arrive at the hospital, there are many things that can be handled in the emergency department by an emergency physician. But there are times when we, in the emergency department, also need to call in a specialist, an ophthalmologist, to evaluate you, or if one isn't available, send you to another facility where an ophthalmologist is available. So let's also talk about chemicals. Chemicals can easily cause damage to your eye. Now, everybody thinks about acids as being the most dangerous, but it's actually the alkali things that can cause most damage to your eye because they tend to penetrate more so than the acidic substances. So when you think about that, you want to think about things like drain cleaner. That's one of the number one things, splashing into your eye, that can cause you major difficulties. So that, you're still going to do the same thing. You're going to start to rinse your eye as soon as you can with cool water, as I said, at least 15 minutes while you're waiting for your transportation, be it by a personal vehicle or an ambulance to get you to the emergency department. Other things is people think, as I said before, about fights, being punched in the eye, or worse, having a baseball or something like that hit you in the eye. If it's not too bad, you're just going to have a black eye, discoloration around the eye, not much of worry. But you can also have times where you actually break the bones around the eye in the orbit. And the muscles which help to control the movement of the eye can actually get caught inside of that fracture. That is one of the cases where surgery would be required. Other things that can happen is you can have a laceration of the eyelid, which would require repair, or you can have laceration to the actual cornea or the outer covering of the eye itself. Now, if it's something very small, that'll most likely heal on its own. But there are other times when that is enough that you also need to be seen and evaluated by an ophthalmologist. So I never want you to take those injuries to your eye as, oh, it's probably just fine. You want to be evaluated as soon as possible. Because if you wait too long, especially in the case of chemical burns or major lacerations to the eye, you could lose vision in that eye. So what do we do to protect this? How do we avoid this? If you're going to be doing woodworking, if you're going to be working with metal, if you're going to be doing any sports that have potential for eye injury, you want to protect your eyes by wearing protective eyewear. And the most common sport I think of is something like squash or racquetball. That ball is coming at a very fast speed. You do not want to be injured in your eyes. So I hope that gave you a little bit of information on what to do in case of an eye emergency and how to protect yourself from one. Oh, also don't want to forget to mention children. So children, sharp objects, scissors, even something as your toddlers, the edge of a table, coffee table or something like that. If they hit that edge just right, that can cause some major damage. And they're not going to be able to necessarily tell you, ooh, it feels like something's in my eye. You're going to have to watch their behavior. And if you're concerned, by all means, seek medical attention right away. So once again, I am Dr. Leslie, board-certified emergency physician, best-selling author, international speaker, and professional photographer. And I bring these 2-minute emergencies to you to help educate you about emergency situations and their care, and how to keep you safe, healthy, and out of the emergency department. So until next time, have a wonderful day and have a wonderful week. Take care. Bye-bye.